Welcome to Research Matters with Unda and Kuda, an online show that is all about communicating the research taking place at NUS in efforts to promote the university's research agenda and the impact thereof.
Welcome to Research Matters with Unda and Kuda right here on NUS FM. Now it is another episode, and of course I'll have Kuda do the honors of introducing our guest for this morning.
Thank you so much, Unda. Now our guest this morning is Prof. Jose Quenum. He's a professor in the Department of Software Engineering right here at the Namibia University of Science and Technology, particularly in the Faculty of Computing and Informatics. Prof, thank you so much for joining us, and we can dive right into it. What do you love most about NUST? You must love it, right?
Morning, everyone.
Yes.
There must be a reason.
Yes. And what makes you proud to be affiliated to this brand?
I think I'll say the way we keep a very practical, application-oriented direction in our curricula and even in our research direction. So even if we make sure that there's a theoretical foundation, we make sure that we include, some practical applications in the research we conduct and the curricula that we develop.
All right. Now, Prof, what is the most recent book that you've read, and what would you say had caught your attention about it?
There's been a couple of them, but I think I'll talk about Bad Blood. It's the story of a startup in biotech. I don't know if you guys have heard the story of Theranos. The idea.
You're going to tell us all about it because we're like completely like...
Exactly. Prof, what book is this?
Yeah, what is this? Bring it down to our level real quick. What is it about? Why did you particularly choose that book?
So the challenge that the startup was supposed to address is, to draw blood in a very miniature volume and execute all sort of tests. And so this is a breakthrough in biotech. But then what followed turned out to be the typical deception in Silicon Valley. We saw the last episode when the two founders went to court and were actually convicted. I think one got 10 years, the other one got 13 years, Sunny Balwani and Elizabeth Holmes. But along the way, they dragged very high-profile people in the process. So when I found the book and I was following the story, because startup for me is one space that I keep an eye on. So when I found the book, I was keen on going back to the whole history, the story, and reading through it.
I like that. I think it's always so interesting. Sometimes you want to know, what is a person reading? What music are they listening to? Because you just get to know another perspective of their lives, exactly. Right? Now, tell us one challenge, if you could single out one challenge that you faced in your career, and how did you overcome it? Because this is essentially what this show is about. It's about inspiring people, established people to say, how was your journey? We want to walk with you. So what is that one thing, and how did you overcome it?
So that one for me is an irony, because at one point in my life, I was building a startup, and I was actually developing an application that's supposed to cater for collaboration between teams that are scattered across the globe. And the main challenge was to get the team to function. The collaboration of the team that was developing the tool called collaboration was terrible. So we had to make all sort of interventions and conflict resolution and what have you. But yes, that was still challenge. Really puzzling to me. That's how do you find yourself at the center of such an irony where you're trying to solve a problem which you yourself you're constantly facing and you're not addressing it fast enough.
Yeah. And I think that's actually exciting when it becomes personal, somewhat personal, when it speaks to your heart. So it's not only about solving it for the sake of, okay, I've made it, but you want to make your life easier. Yeah,
exactly. Now, Prof, if you had to speak to a first-year student, what would you describe artificial intelligence to be, and why is that field of study so important?
Well, first-year student, is it a computer science student? Or
No,
just a first-year student who just got to NUST and doesn't actually know all of the fields that are up for study, and also just maybe they're keen to learn but don't actually know what is it all about?
Look, the illusion in the term artificial intelligence is the belief that we're trying to inject human intelligence into the computer. That's not the case. What we're trying to do is build in capabilities in the computer. If, for example, you have a problem to solve and you can define the goal that overall system is supposed to achieve, and you know where you're starting from, if you can guide the computer in the steps to follow to arrive at the goal, that computer should be able to function independently and make all the decisions along the way and reach the goal.
Yes.
In essence, that's artificial intelligence.
Now,
why is it important? Is because all the applications, now we see a lot of technological development at a fast pace, and most of it is actually enabling computers to make all sort of decisions. Sometimes we get involved, sometimes we don't even. They're even suggesting things to you, right? For example, YouTube is suggesting to you what video you should watch next. So at one point, you need to understand the minimum of how do you capture that form of intelligence into the machine, right? And how you build applications to endowed with that kind of intelligence.
Now, talking about AI, there's always this, I don't know whether to call it a misconception, but there's always this perception, rather, that they are here to, AI, they, it makes it sound so alien-like, but AI is here to take over our jobs. And what do you say to that? Because a lot of people, as much as there's a sector of society that's embracing it and making the most of it, there's also those that are threatened by it, especially in the education sector. I can just chat GPT my way through things. How do we embrace that?
I think we need to be careful. There's several aspects to your to the question you're raising. I'll say upfront that it's not a bad thing that we have automated systems that are acting on our behalf. What we have to do, what decision makers have to do, is actually make sure that they change the whole educational sector to ensure that people you cannot keep following the old trends. You have to adapt to the current situation, right? And so if someone thinks that, ChatGPT can replace education, we can try. It's still very far away from doing that. I'm not saying it's not able to do it in the future, but today it's not possible. Okay. So the humans, the experts, are still very much needed.
I like that. We're still human, we're still relevant, and exactly. I like that. Now, Prof, just to take it back a little bit, the whole reason we're doing a very short interview today, normally in Research Matters we go all out in 30 minutes and so forth. Today's is very short because it's a teaser for a build-up for your inaugural lecture.
Hey.
I think round of applause for that one. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Prof.
Now, without giving away too much information, what is the topic of your inaugural lecture that's taking place on the 9th of November during the Institutional Research Week? And so 2 questions. What is the topic, and why should people come?
I want to make it about coordination and decision making. My focus will be on bringing automation and autonomy together. Components that can act autonomously, yes, but automate processes, just like the example I gave you. Why people should come? If you're curious about some aspect of AI, I think you should join.
Now, Prof, before I let you go, just one last question. What is your proudest moment as a professor? What do you one day want to look back to and say, this gave me fulfillment, this made me feel so great with my line of study or the work that I've done?
I'm pretty sure people say, well, when you look at some of your students doing very well in the future,
yeah,
that makes you very proud.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say, as I started with this interview, to participate in developing tools that can solve concrete problems,
yeah,
will definitely make it for me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof, for your time. And of course, that brings us to the end of the special edition of our Research Matters episode with Unda and Kuda right here on NAST FM. But it has been a blast, and thank you so much for joining us, Prof. Now, for more details on the episodes that we've already posted or those that are yet to come, you can always follow the Research, Innovation and Partnerships at NAST pages. That is on Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as the NAST FM Facebook page, as well as our Instagram. Our podcasts are available on our NAST YouTube page, so make sure to make a turn and enjoy that. But for now, it is enjoy your day, and we will see you on the flip side, and that is with Miss K and Shinaz. Goodbye.